Hey everyone, welcome back. Getting a little bit of a head start as I've had to restart filming a few times. Mount is being a little difficult today. But as you can tell, I am back in a hotel. And again, I am in wonderful Billings, Montana. We already talked about it, so I'm not going to go through all that stuff again. Kind of like last week, we're going to talk about the gear instead, but not do a review because I don't do reviews. Of course, the knot or the brush I'm using, Craving Shaving 26mm Duro knot in the Chop Chop Travel brush, using a cream that is no longer being made, but I believe you can still find it, and that is Coats. This is the tea tree. I also have the sandalwood scent, thanks to my friend Kyler Williams. Whipped that up in my kind of a homemade travel bowl here, and just look how much lather that is. Really good lather there. And I'm using the RazoRock. Not sure if you can see this, maybe. Eco, lighting in this bathroom is crap, with a brand new Crown saloon blade. RazoRock did send the blade, a 100-pack of blades, when I bought the razor. Now, the cream, as I mentioned, is no longer being made, but you can still get it. I believe there's a gentleman that purchased the remaining stock when it was announced it was being discontinued. And he sells it for, I think when I looked, it was like $8 or something like that for a tube. Now, of course, there are other scents available. Man, that is slick. But at $8 a tube for 1.7 ounces, you have to ask yourself if that's really worth it. I think it's great cream. I can say that if it were still readily available or being manufactured, I would get more. It is very slick. It's one I don't use very often because I only have the sandalwood and the tea tree. And the tea tree, the scent smells a lot like green tea. And the performance is fantastic. I understand there's a lot of people who were disappointed when it was announced it was being discontinued. Kind of like those that were disappointed when Palmolive announced they're discontinuing the sticks. Now, I don't know if Palmolive's discontinued just the sticks or the cream as well. I've never used Palmolive, so, and I don't really follow the Palmolive. Right now, Paul H. loves the stuff. But I don't know exactly what has been discontinued from Palmolive. Really good first pass. Now, as I mentioned, the cream is fantastic. It goes on, I think I may have gotten it a little bit too wet. It can take a bit of water. I wouldn't say it's super thirsty, but it can take water. Maybe I didn't get it too wet. I think it's looking good here for the second pass. Now, a little bit about the razor. The Eco, or Echo, depending on your pronunciation, takes a half DE blade, and at the time of recording, Italian Barber is including $100 Crown saloon blades. Crown is made by Lord in Egypt. I know some people don't like that brand. I've never had a bad shave with a Lord blade and a good cream or soap. I actually quite enjoy Lord. I think it's a good blade for me and my hair and skin type. So I was not super surprised when I found I can get good shaves with the Crown blade. I don't think I've ever used a Crown full DE blade, but it's still not going to replace my go-to, which is the Israeli Persona Israeli Reds. Those are my go-to DEs. Really good second pass. Just get a little wet here. Now some people, I'm not like other people. I like to do research before I buy things. So I watched a couple videos on the Eco before I decided to buy one. One person that I watched quite a bit, his videos on it, was Jeffrey Smith. And he goes into details on, he shows, I think, the post that are used to hold the blade in place. I watched a few of his videos before I decided to buy one myself. There'll be a link to his channel in the description below. Jeffrey is one person I really enjoy watching. His voice is very calming. He just always has some pretty good insight on stuff too, so I enjoy watching his channel. Alright, here we go, third pass. Now some people will say that the Eco is a fairly aggressive razor. I think with the geometry of the head, it can be. Depending on which angle you hold the razor. Now, as anyone who's watched my channel knows, I am quite partial to gem razors or gem style razors, very much like the Starling. And you can see here the head geometry is very similar. Same with like the Saber or the 1912 MMLC, clog proof, some of those other razors that take the gem blades. So finding the proper angle on this was not that hard, at least for me, because it's already very similar to what I've been using with the gem blade. Man, look at that hard water stuff on there. That's the one downside with a colored razor, is you see all the hard water crap. Water here is not that great. Not sure if you can hear this audio feedback, but this thing is loud. And gives a really good shave. And I've talked to a couple of guys on various groups. Let's just say this is a very aggressive razor, it's just not for them. I watched Ruds do a review on it, and he didn't care for it for head shaves, and I have to say that I definitely agree. It is not my favorite head shaving razor. I get closer shades with the Starling or the Saber when I'm at home, the MMLC, or even just a regular DE. So that's what I prefer to use. Now in a pinch I could use this. I've done a couple head shaves with this, just to see how long I can get the blade to last, and I've done 2 face shaves, 2 head shaves on one blade, and it still worked, at least for me. Just a little bit of cleanup. But I mean, you get a 100 pack of blades, and they're pretty cheap from Italian Barber. I'm sure you can get them from Maggards and West Coast Shaving and Shave Nation, and you know, wherever you buy your shaving gear. And they're all gonna be about the same price. Very nice razor. Oh, a little bit of blood, maybe from, I had some irritation from here yesterday shave. I used a boar and had pretty thin lather by that 3rd pass, and it was just not great. So a little bit of irritation on that side of my neck, which is always one of my more troubled spots. Or is it right here? I caught myself here with the straight the other day. I don't know, I can't see, I'm blind without my glasses. I can't tell where the blood's coming from, honestly. But I have plenty of lather here to do my head, which I will do off camera. Try to keep this a little bit shorter. This is a very nice scent on this soap, cream, whatever it is. Smells wonderful. Residual thickness is pretty dang good as well. And the post shave is also fantastic. It's a really, really good post shave feel. Every time I've used coats, I've always been really impressed with it. Kind of disappointed it's been discontinued, because it is a very nice cream. But anyway, that was the shave for this evening. Again, just a quick recap. The cream I used tonight was the Coats Tea Tree. Fantastic cream. If you can find some still, I recommend just picking up some just to try it out. Definitely a very good cream. The razor was the Electric Blue, I think is what they're calling it. RazoRock Eco or Echo, depending on your personal pronunciation preference. You can see it's all nasty because of the hard water here. Used a Crown saloon blade, first use. Whipped up in my little first ever travel bowl, or lather bowl period. Used my craving shaving Chop Shop travel brush with a 26mm Dura knot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean up, do a head shave off camera. Thank you guys for watching, making it to the end of this almost 14-minute video. Hope to catch you guys in another episode next week.